little hiatus.
We did have a little hiatus, yeah.
Little break, little vacation.
Yeah, Javi was just getting on my nerves and
Oh my god.
You had enough.
had to take a break. Just kidding.
We all have our breaking point.
Well, we're back.
Yeah, that's the last time you tell me Jokic is better than Embiid. Okay?
Oh my gosh, here we go. Always
No, I'm
sports.
just kidding. But it's good to be back. Real quick, in case we forgot, it's Oi.
Oi.
Boy.
The Oi boys.
The Oi boys. Had to remind you guys of who we are, what we're doing. So, a lot has happened since we've last did an
Exciting
episode.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big news.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys watch movies or not, but there is this thing called the Academy Awards.
Hello.
What happens there, Ben?
I think they like give out trophies of golden gentlemen.
Golden.
Solid movies
Do these
and
people
stuff.
want these trophies? Are they important?
No. Leo
No,
just
it's
shows
just-
up to put a smile on
it's-
everybody's face most years.
It's just for fun.
Yeah. You know, no, it's the top of the world for an actor or an actress or a director.
They all strive for.
The Oscars.
Anytime someone writes a movie, unless it's one of the worst ones we did last week, they do it with the
Don't
intentions.
bring that up anymore. Oh.
They do it with the
Don't think back of
intentions
that.
that they're gonna win an Oscar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they all
True.
have the hopes for it. Yeah.
That's their goal.
But honestly, they shouldn't even have had the Oscars. It
No?
should have just been an hour long, everything, everywhere, all at once.
Just invite
Highlight reel.
the cast and team of that movie only.
Yep.
Everyone else could just stay home. It's fine.
They were nominated for 10 awards.
Wow.
They won 6.
Wow.
Now, one
Gosh,
of
that's
those
good.
they lost to themselves. So they really only lost 3.
For
That's
for
nuts.
supporting.
Best supporting actress had 2 actresses from the same movie.
That's crazy. There's not a rule for that, so one movie can have 3 supporting actors and just going up
Hey.
for the
I think
award.
Django Unchained. I think Leo lost
Probably.
to Christoph Waltz.
I was gonna say I know Leo and Christoph Waltz were in it. So
I think. I'm
Wow.
pretty sure. I
hey
could be
man, if you got it, you got it, man.
That's crazy. That's impressive.
wrong. Sorry, Stephanie.
Oh man, it just breaks my heart, man.
You know?
I think she was my pick for it. Actually over Jamie Lee Curtis. I know there's a lot of stuff out there. People were not happy that Angela Bassett lost, which hey, I can respect, but I think Stephanie Sue was robbed.
What do you think, Javi? You have a take on that?
I think she won it for a reason. I do think she deserved it. I think everyone that was nominated was pretty much deserving of it.
Oh yeah.
I think there was so many good performances. It was funny how when I'm sure you guys saw how Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors came out and they're like, "We love you, Auntie," talking to Angela Bassett.
Bro,
That was
love it,
crazy.
man.
That was
So
that was
good.
cool.
Yeah.
That was cool, but at the same time, I was like, "Dang, Jamie Lee Curtis is probably feeling awkward right now." Like, 'cause
Yeah,
it feels like even Hollywood was on Angela Bassett's side. Like, oh, we want her to
yeah.
win.
Everyone. I remember when they announced her, everyone was hating it online.
Yeah.
People were.
I
Not,
mean,
kinda
hey,
feel bad.
congratulations, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, she
Shout out
deserves her
Jamie Lee.
flowers,
She's
right?
been around for a long time.
Yeah, she's been in Hollywood forever, so I'm
Whether
I'm
she
happy
deserves it or
she's
not
got
is
an
one
Oscar.
thing,
Yeah.
but we got to give her
Yeah.
congrats.
For sure.
Congrats to Jamie.
Congrats to Jamie.
But yeah, it was definitely a stacked kind of award. There's so many good nominations.
Like you guys, you're saying. I mean, any one of those winning would have been rightfully so.
Yeah, and someone else would have been upset no matter what.
Oh yeah, there's
For
never
sure.
gonna please everybody.
And
Never
next
gonna
thing you
please
know,
everybody.
Jamie Lee Curtis fans are like, "What do you mean Jamie
Yeah.
didn't win?"
Yeah,
You know?
you can never win. Yeah.
No one is happy ever.
Literally.
No, yeah. So I mean, yeah. I will say immediately when she won, I was kind of like, really interesting.
No, yeah,
definitely
I didn't
thought
see that coming.
I
Yeah.
definitely thought Stephanie Sue was more.
It surprised me.
But
It surprised me.
I
to
think
each
she
their own.
was little underdog there, and she
Yeah.
got it.
Oh, 100%.
And then our boy, all the way back from the Goonies
Man,
to now
Such a
Everything
cool-
Everywhere at Once.
such a
he
cool
did
story.
it, man.
Best
Ki
supporting actor,
Hoi Kwan.
Ki Hoi Kwan.
What a legend.
What a
This
name.
man has graced my For You page for weeks, and I hope it never ends because his energy that he has, he seems like the most wholesome person. He seems like the kind of guy, like he reached the top, but he wasn't like corrupted or tainted by Hollywood, because he was out of it for so long. Well, not out of it, but he wasn't like in the limelight.
Yeah.
And just to see where he is now and his story, I mean, it could not have happened to a better person.
I look forward to the surplus of roles he's gonna get now.
Yes, I want him in
Happy for
everything.
him. He's super cool.
He deserves it, man. It's so cool to see, man.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. He literally took over my For You page, just like you said,
Yes.
Robert. Like it was all
It's so
Pedro
good.
Pascal, and now it's all
Yeah.
been him the last few days, and just him being
I
like,
refuse to let Pedro
he's
Pascal
just-
leave my For You page.
like he's the he's the cutest guy ever. I don't even know.
Dude,
I'm
he's
straight, but, like,
adorable. I love
he's
it.
so adorable. He's just like,
Dude,
ah!
he's great, man.
Like, I don't know.
What
It's so,
just
I love him.
his personality just seems so good. I cannot wait for the impending TV show or movie, that he's going to be in with Pedro Pascal, because it's going to happen.
Oh
There's
my
no way there
gosh.
hasn't been scripts written with those two in mind, because you'd be a damn fool to
What a
not
duo.
think of a way to put those two together right now, because everyone's going to watch it right now. Everybody's going to watch it.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Now,
what a
speaking
duo.
of comebacks,
yes.
Does someone else have a comeback?
someone else had a comeback.
Another
What a week for
comeback.
comebacks.
And he literally won basically the only award that Everything Everywhere at Once didn't win.
Yeah.
Best Actor.
Come on,
Wow, man.
Do we know his name?
Brendan.
Brendan Fraser.
Wow.
What a...
Perfect timing.
That's another guy, man. I tell you what, throw him in the mix. He needs to be in the movie with Pedro Pascal and
Yeah,
Ke Huy
I
Quan. They
agree.
all
Oh
three
my
of them.
gosh.
They need to do something. They need to figure something out. All three of
would
those there.
I
Be
miss
the
him.
internet.
I know, man. It's so cool to see him back.
Now
man.
that he came back, I was
Yeah.
just like, oh my goodness, I used to love his movies.
especially his story. Where like his. I hate to use the word downfall, because it's not like something that he did to himself, but just all the stuff that kind of
Yeah.
knocked him down. To see him bounce back like this, it's really
Yeah.
cool to see, man.
So awesome.
He's another guy that you really want to root for. So
Yeah.
it's so
Oh,
cool
yeah.
to see him.
I
So
mean,
so good
because
to
even
see
when
him.
he's acting, some people the knock on him was always he just acts as Brendan Fraser. But
Yeah.
clearly, that's not the case anymore.
No,
Hollywood.
man. You can't hold that against him anymore, because
know?
he was great.
He was great, but even if he does, that's fine. I want to see him anyway. I
Yeah,
love Brendan
yep,
Fraser. I go watch Ryan Reynolds every time he's in a movie. He's the goat.
You know who
Let's be
plays the
honest.
same? You know who plays the same role in every movie? The Rock.
Oh, The Rock. Yeah, he just
The
changes
Rock
his
is The
t-shirt.
Rock in every movie.
He puts a different T-shirt on, bro.
I remember I saw a meme that was like 5 different screenshots from that's like it's him wearing like some kind of tan, like almost like a military style shirt, and
Yeah.
it's like, believe it or not, these are 5 different movies.
Yeah.
And it just looks like it's the same character. It's crazy, man.
It's ridiculous. I don't know.
Only
you
he
know
could
what?
pull that off.
And he still sells tickets.
He does.
Oh, yeah.
man.
So
stop
They
hating
love
on him. Let him make his
love him.
bread,
They love him, man.
and let me watch his movies.
Nah, we love The Rock. It's all good.
Now, obviously, I know a couple of us disagree with some of the choices, but I did see a lot of people were very upset that Austin Butler didn't win it for Elvis because he totally in that movie personified him. He sounded
Yeah.
just like him. He showed the uphill, the downhill, all the way around.
Yeah.
And they were really like pissed off. Like that was the biggest one that I saw of Best Actor. Just that one specific trophy that people were like, "Nah, he definitely had it in the bag.
Yeah, he had it in
How
the
did
bag.
he lose it?
A lot of people were thinking that.
What do you mean?" I didn't see them get upset with anybody else losing. Probably because Brendan Fraser's just so likable.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like no one's gonna say that, because if it has to go to anybody, they want to go to him. If it's not not Austin Butler, but biopics are such a weird thing, because I feel like you see, I think did
Rami Malek won.
I was gonna say, I forgot his name. Right? So he
Yeah.
won. So there's been instances where it's
Taron
like
Egerton, I don't even think he
was
got
nominated.
Wow.
And that you talk about an incredible
For
job.
Rocket Man. Wow.
Because if you want to talk about how good Austin Butler did in Elvis, you need to talk about Taron Egerton in. My wife is shaking her head, is nodding her head, because shout out Sarah. We love Rocket Man, and Taron Egerton does an incredible job in that movie. He is Elton John, and not to mention that he has this beautiful voice. Again, Austin Butler did a great job too, but it's just like, again, you just feel like there's so many of these roles that happen in these biopics, and it's like all or nothing. It's like they win, or they're not even nominated, and then you have the case of Austin Butler.
Learned how to sing just like Remy did.
Yeah. Oh no, you
He
can
learned
tell.
how to
So
sing
cool.
like him.
You can tell, man.
Don't tell my wife, but I just bought the Steelbook.
Wait for Rocket Man. Oh,
Oh.
you gotta show them what that looks like. I'm curious what that. Yeah, because that's when I'd buy a Rocket, or I was gonna buy a Rocket.
It's
before.
on sale right now at Best Buy.
Because that is the Sarah's gonna Sarah. I'm gonna have our correspondent / associate producer look it up real quick. Super
fan.
Yeah.
Look at my Twitter.
Speaking of biopics, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there was a picture circulating of Michael Jackson's what's the word when it's his brother's son. Why am I blanking on this right
Nephew?
now? Yes, nephew. His nephew.
Did you forget the word? Did you forget the word nephew?
Hey guys,
So
Shout out Javi.
no. So
Sir,
his nephew.
What do you call the person that gave birth to me? What is it? What is it? What's their name? What is it? Mom. Okay, that's right. Yeah, sorry
Jesus.
guys.
But anyways, his nephew was taken. They took a picture of him practicing his dance moves because he's gonna play Michael Jackson in an upcoming movie, which is super cool.
I didn't
So
even
I'm
know that.
excited.
That's cool.
His own nephew is gonna play him, so
You know
that's
what?
really cool. So
you
I'm excited to
basically
see
tell
that.
all the other actors whatever serious roles they have when that movie comes out to not even do it.
Oh
Yeah, 'cause
yeah,
they're gonna give him the Oscar.
imagine.
Calling it now, 3 years before it comes out.
That's the kind of thing that happens, man. That reminds me of how in Straight Outta Compton they had Ice Cube's son play Ice Cube.
That's cool.
And he's identical to Ice Cube.
Yeah.
It's insane.
No,
It looked like they just deep faked him. It was so good. But yeah, that's interesting, Javi. I didn't even know that was happening.
I'm excited for that. That's cool.
But I will say, I loved Everything Everywhere at Once. I definitely thought Top Gun Maverick should have won Best Picture.
I thought
You
they were
can give
both
them-
deserving. Yeah.
All the other awards, that's fine. The acting, because I will agree. I mean, in Top Gun Maverick, I don't think anybody deserved an Oscar for acting because they kind of were just. I don't know. I don't feel like it's not the same level as they did, I guess, in Everything Everywhere at Once.
Sure,
but for
yeah.
a whole movie, everybody's performance combined, because there were just so many great characters in that movie.
100%.
I think that was the best.
Everyone
picture
was on their A game on that. I
and
get
Rotten
that.
Tomatoes agrees with me.
You know, it's so fun because we were just talking about this beforehand, and I feel like the movie, Everything Ever All at Once was just the right amount of like weird to some people, and I think that's why you saw like some people not vibe with it. Of course, obviously it did enough right to win the Oscar.
Yeah.
But I
All
feel-
of them.
I-
All
I-
the Oscars.
all the Oscar, but I feel like that's why, like, because I was so shocked to see its score being as low as it is. I mean, it's still like in the high 80s,
a
low
90
90s, But
94
you would
for-
think for how I see that movie is like a 10 out of 10. So it's so funny to see that. But I think it was a little too weird for some people. Like, for instance, if my parents saw it, which I don't think they have, I kind of have, if they would have seen it, I think they would have thought it was a little weird.
Do you think your parents would have thought it was weird, Javi?
I think they did see it, and I think so, and I think they thought it was okay. Like they didn't.
See,
they didn't
there you
love
go.
it.
See,
yeah.
okay. Oh, so
they didn't love
this
it.
is
I
solid.
think
Okay.
they thought it was a little all over the place, which kind of makes sense.
See,
The average
I think
viewer
it's
is
just-
gonna
yeah.
say that,
I
But
think if you're not like a big like appreciator of movies, I think it can be a little weird for some people.
Yeah.
Which I understand.
Oh, I think it was a great screenplay. It was a fantastic movie. Whoever's idea this was.
yeah. I
Incredible.
think that's why the Academy loved it because it was so
yeah.
cool, unique. Like it was just such an awesome ride. Of a
I'm
movie.
very excited to see what the Daniels do next, because just with the vision that they brought with this movie, it's such a breath of fresh air. So I'm very excited to see what they do next from here, because I'm all in.
Oh yeah, no, that's cool. That's awesome.
Well, now that that's done, there's one more thing. We talked about it a little bit last time, but now since the last time we came, there's actually been a trailer.
The hype is building.
Did you guys see the trailer for Paint?
I did.
I'm very excited for that, man.
That'd
I
be
think
cool.
it looks interesting.
I think it looks interesting. I think it's cool to see Owen Wilson do more, serious stuff. Ever since Loki, like Loki made me love him even more. So to see him in this role, I think it's gonna be cool. I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna check it out. But before we leave the Oscars, I did want to give a quick shout out to the movie All Quiet on the Western Front. I'm not sure if you guys saw that.
Yes.
That movie won, I think, 4 different awards.
It did, yeah.
They
It
won
was
4 awards.
really good,
And
yeah.
amazing. You saw it, Robert? Mm-hmm. Okay, such
Not
a great.
enough people talked about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's such a
on
great
Netflix.
I
war
honestly had
movie.
never heard of it until
It's
the Oscars.
It's on Netflix.
so
Very
good. It has a 90-something on Rotten Tomatoes. The acting's incredible. The scenes. It's a German film. But oh my gosh, the set pieces, like so many awesome scenes. It's about basically like a group of boys that go out to war and they think they're going on an adventure and they're gonna kind of like they're a little excited, but then they come to find the reality of war, which is just like death and horror and all this. So it's like it starts off a little kind of bright and then it just turns like dark and it just shows
It gets real.
Yeah, it gets real really fast and incredible movie. So I did want to
I'll
give a
have to
quick
give it a
shout
watch.
out. You got to check it out if you like a good war movie, good action movie. It's great.
I just watched We Were Soldiers for your
Oh
dad.
yeah.
Oh wow, it's
Classic.
funny. He mentions that to me at least once or twice a year.
That I
Yeah.
didn't watch it.
No. I think like, just in terms
Man
of like
didn't
he'll
watch
just-
it.
he'll find ways to bring it into conversation. You know, he loves that movie. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I sent him a Marco Polo. I was like, hey, I watched the movie. Here are my thoughts. And he was like, thank you for sharing that with me. You hit all the points that I wanted you to see.
Oh, that's awesome.
You made his day for sure.
Shout out, Dad.
Shout out, Theo.
Shout out, Theo.
Love it. But yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's all for the news. If Robert will make his way into our new subject matter this week.
I'm ready, man. This I'm excited to talk about. Because this is something we don't get to talk about too often. When we talk about just underrated shows, in this case, underrated sitcoms, there's a lot out there.
Yeah.
There's like 10 new sitcoms every week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of them fail.
Yeah.
You just never hear from them again. They last one season.
Moment of silence.
Moment of silence. A lot of them succeed, or not a lot of them, but a good amount will succeed. They'll get very, very popular. There's also a lot out there that are just so good, but no one talks about them.
Yeah.
They get lost in the sea of TV of all the new shows we get all the time. It's hard to keep up. There's a lot of stuff out there that just doesn't get talked about. So we all picked a couple different underrated sitcoms that we all love and hold dear to our hearts. I wanted to go over them with you. I'll start it off. I think I'm going to kind of work my way down in terms of like what I think is the most underrated. You guys do how you want to do it, but I think I'm going to go to the most underrated. But I'm going to start it off. We're going to start here with just a light one. Superstore. If you're a fan of any kind of workplace comedies, which again, there's so many of them. The first ones that come to mind, The Office, Parks and Rec, huge shows that everyone loves and talks about. Yeah. But Superstore, it's not created in quite the same vein. It's not like a mockumentary where they have people being interviewed, but it's a show that I really like. I think just the cast of characters they put together, I think it all meshes really well with each other. And I think the writing is just a little slept on. You know, it is kind of one of those slightly corny shows sometimes, but I think it really works well. It uses that to its advantage. And anyone can appreciate it if you've ever worked in retail, if you've ever worked in the customer service industry. There are so many parts in that show that just hit so true because you're like, man, I have been in that situation, and that's perfect. So it's just, I think, a severely underrated show. Check it out. I think it's on Peacock is where you can watch it right now. I was binging that. I've watched it through a couple times because it's just like one of those like.
Is it Michael Cera in that one?
No. No. It has America Ferrera as like the one that people would probably know the most. But
Jason Bateman.
Huh?
Isn't Jason Bateman in the?
No.
That's my. Ben, you're listing all the characters from my other show, man. Shut up. No, it's not them. So all the other shame. Yeah, Javi, all right, let's got to shame Ben now.
I'm retired.
Shame. So.
I'm so sorry.
I lost my train of thought. You son of a gun. Okay, so. And then what I like about it too is that it has a lot of actors that you've never heard of, and I think that even that helps it and makes it shine even more because you really believe them as these characters. You've worked with a lot of these kind of people, so I can go on and on about it, but I think it's a really good bingeable show that is just a super easy watch that you don't need a lot of, resources or prior watching to get into. You just turn it on and enjoy.
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes.
Superstore.
I've seen a few episodes. It's pretty good. I know. Mom and Dad, they do.
I know our parents like it. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's definitely underrated. I don't see too many people talk about that.
No one talks about it.
I've seen like a clip on TikTok or maybe Facebook. It might have been Facebook Reels.
Sarah's seen like one or two clips on TikTok. Yeah.
No, it looks good.
One where the sign falls on. All right, I'll let one of you guys take it next.
Go ahead, Ben.
All right. So I want to start out by apologizing to my podcast mate over here. I'm so sorry. Second of all, I'm doing a show called Schitt's Creek.
Whoa. Watch it, man.
What's that, Ben?
First of all, it's SCHITT. Okay?
Okay.
And actually the S is a dollar sign, so...
Yeah, it is a dollar. That's right, yeah. It is a dollar sign.
I don't know what you're talking about, Avi.
Hits Creek. All right.
Yeah, it's a dollar hits Creek. No, so that show it's about a family that have all the money in the world. They are huge. They are celebrities. They're big time, okay? And actually, the mom from Home Alone,
yes.
Catherine O'Hara, is Myra, okay?
Yes.
And Eugene Levy plays the father, Johnny Rose, and his son, Dan Levy, plays his son.
Yes.
I did not realize that until
you didn't know that?
well into the show. That I was like, wow, what a great casting choice. These guys look related.
You know his daughter's in the show too,
his daughter's in the show too. She's just not his daughter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for whatever reason. Yeah. She didn't make the cut.
Sorry, you're not good enough. Annie Murphy just auditioned better, honey.
Yeah.
No, so it follows the Rose family. They're celebrities, superstars, and their business manager makes some financial decisions called not paying taxes. And the IRS takes everything except for this little town. They let him keep this town because it's not worth anything that he bought as a joke for his son.
Keep a town?
He owns the town. But it doesn't make any money. It's a rundown place called Schitt's Creek where Roland Shit is the mayor.
Oh, wow.
Schitt, everyone.
That name gets me every time. And the way he always introduced himself, like Roland Shit. Oh my God, it's so good.
You know, and so they come to this little, they go from the hills of LA to little, nowhere in the middle of Missouri or whatever state that it is. I actually don't know if they say what state.
It's Canada.
Oh, it's in Canada.
It's a little small town in Canada. Yeah, I didn't realize it was a Canadian show. Yeah, I remember reading that. Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's so good watching these celebrities go from high on life to all the way at the bottom with the rest of us common
premise.
folk.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with Ben. It's a very good show.
They do not fit in anywhere with the townspeople. They have to adapt and overcome adversity immediately, and it's a very fun watch. Highly recommend. And so he literally bought the town as a joke. If he didn't buy the town as a joke, the government would have taken everything, and they would have just been screwed. Would
have been homeless. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's actually in the first episode. Yeah. They say that. She's like, oh, clearly you're joking. We can keep the house. He's like, no, it's this or homeless.
Oh, my God.
It's like you do have a choice.
Yeah, you do have a choice. You don't have to go live there. You can be homeless. So that was I think the most underrated sitcom. I mean, it's a little bigger than Superstore, but it's still, I don't think it's still as credited
it's still something that I know a lot of people haven't seen. Yeah.
I watched it on accident.
Oh, wow.
I was on Netflix and I was scrolling. I couldn't find anything, and it was landed on Schitt's Creek and it played the advertisement. Oh, that looks pretty good. So I start watching it, and it was.
You're
so
like
funny.
one of the rare people that actually works on all the suggested stuff. Like I never even checked that section on Netflix or Hulu or whatever because I'm like,
Netflix.
Yes, wow, it worked. The algorithm worked.
Yeah, that's funny. I've never seen it, but honestly, I kind of want to check it out now. It looks good. I've seen it on Netflix while I'm scrolling through probably 100 times, but I've never clicked on it. So I might have to click on it soon and check it out. But
what do you got, Bobby?
Before I get into my first underrated show, I just want to give a quick honorable mention to this show that I love so much, and it's probably the most popular show we're gonna talk about. But I just want to bring it up because I think it belongs in the S tier of comedies and sitcoms. And I know Robert loves this show. I think Ben has seen a little bit here and there.
Show. I've seen the whole show.
You've seen the whole show? Okay.
The whole show.
But it's the show. It's called Community. It's so incredible. I mean, talk about an amazing show. Some of the best episodes I've seen in TV are on this show. I mean, you talk about the paintball episodes, the floor is lava episode. They do so much. The floor is lava. It's created by Dan Harmon, the same guy who made Rick and Morty. And it's directed by Joe Russo and Anthony Russo for a few seasons, and those are the same guys who made Endgame, Infinity War, Winter Soldier, some of the best movies, some of my favorite movies of all time. So I just want to give a quick shout out to Community because it deserves all the love, and it's up there with The Office and Parks and Rec, and for me, but I don't see enough talk about it.
Year.
So,
for real?
And we are.
Know that? Yeah, they come.
Yes, we finally are getting a movie. Thank God. So I'm excited
know the memes. I actually didn't know they were finally moving along.
Yes,
dude. So good for you guys to tell me.
Ben, everywhere's posted about it. Where have you been? Where were you that whole week when everyone's talking about it?
I was sleeping.
It was it's hibernation week.
It's funny. It literally started as a joke, and they would say it during the show, and 6 seasons in a movie. So the movie's finally coming out, so I'm really excited to see how they kind of, tie a bow on what Community is. But just want to give a quick shout out. My first show is Psych. I love this show.
Man, I know you love Psych.
So much. I've seen this show.
Javi watched this show.
Times.
Javi watched this show. I remember so long ago. I know that this is something you watched way back in the day. So that's a great pick.
You can't ever be Javi's roommate without walking in on something.
Yeah. and I've seen it multiple times. I've watched it so many times, but it's just carried by the amazing dynamic comedy duo of James Roday and Dual Hill. They are so funny. James Roday, he like just carries the show. He's such a good charismatic character. It's basically about a guy who pretends to be a psychic, but he's actually just has an amazing detective skills, and he's just an amazing detective. And if he went the real route and became a detective, he'd be incredible. But he chooses to kind of pretend to be a psychic, and it's just such a good show. And it's just not talked about anywhere. Like I never see like clips of it. Like people don't give it enough love, man. It's such a good show. It went for multiple seasons. It even had a few little movies.
A lot of seasons, isn't it? Like 8
yeah, oh yeah. I think
went
like
for a while. Yeah, that's right. They actually they had a couple movies. Yeah, that's right.
And they've made a few movies. So it has a small like really devoted fan base, and that people just love it. But I think it just doesn't get enough love. So that had to be my first underrated show. Psych. I love that show so much. So awesome. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I think it's a great. I did not. I was trying to think of what you guys would pick, and I did not see that one coming, Javi. So that's great pick. Okay, next I'm gonna moving up my little list here. This is one I think that more people have definitely seen, as opposed to Superstore. I think it's a pretty popular show. It's got a pretty loyal fan base, but it's What We Do in the Shadows on FX. I'm trying to remember all the different places where you can watch this, FX or Hulu. So how to describe this show? Okay, so it is, picture The Office if it was dealing in a lot more of the supernatural, and instead of following just an office in Scranton, Pennsylvania, you're following a collective of vampires in, I think, Long Island, New York is where they're at. And if that sounds weird, it's because it is. It is incredible because it is shot in the style of a mockumentary where they're interviewing them.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And again, it's a collective of vampires going through their vampire day-to-day life. They've been alive for hundreds and thousands of years. And the writing is absolutely incredible on this show. I always go back to it because there's so many good moments and so many good quotable. It's one of the most quotable shows. You go back there, and I'm sure you guys have even seen clips of it, but it's a pretty popular show. I will say that, but again, a lot of people I know have not seen it. I think both of you have not seen it, right? Yeah, so exactly. So I know a lot of people haven't seen it, but I will say, Matthew Berry is just a gift as Laszlo. He is so good in this role. So many of his lines could not have been done any better by any other actor ever. It is just, he was made for this role. But again, it's just the writing of this show is so on par. And again, it's very, and I feel like my list has shows that are kind of like what I call refreshing, because it takes this mockumentary style, which has always been used in like very kind of mundane situations, nothing really crazy or supernatural, and it flips it on its head, because it just is the exact opposite of that. It's a really honestly exciting show, and again, just the writing is incredible. It is hilarious. What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows.
That's awesome. I didn't know that was a mockumentary. That's awesome.
Because you wouldn't think that. So you see clips, you just think it's like some comedy, but no, man, they decided to make it a mockumentary where they're basically interviewing these vampires. And also it's based on a movie by Taika Waititi back in like late 2010s, I think, or early 2010. Or I'm sorry, late 2000s or early 2010. I forget what year it came out, but that's what it's originally based on, a movie that came out, which is again another really good. I really like that movie, but it's just based on that, and just you don't need to watch the movie to watch the show. Just go straight into it, but it's a really, really good watch.
No, that sounds like something awesome. I'd like to.
Oh, it's so good. Just try the first episode. It's really, really good.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
I'm gonna have to dive into that.
Yeah.
My next show is really old.
Okay.
And by really old, I mean I was in middle school when it was happening. So like 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I will start before I say it ends on a cliffhanger, because they canceled the show before the next season came out.
We love when that happens.
So
That's my next show too.
nice. Let's go.
Really?
My Name is Earl.
Good one.
Have you ever seen it?
Oh,
yeah.
Jason Earls. Yeah, love that.
You've seen it,
yeah.
Javi?
I haven't, but
Jason Lee. Jason Lee is his name.
Is Earl's his?
Earl's
My name
his
is
name.
Earl. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
His actor's name
Yes.
is Jason Lee.
So
I haven't
good.
seen that, but
Earl
I know
Hickey.
Robert
Yes.
loves it because I remember walking on Robert watching that all the time.
Yes, it's good, man. It's it's well written. I like that show.
Yeah, it follows Earl and his brother Randy, who's played by Ethan. I don't know how to say his last name.
Ethan
Suplee.
Suplee, I think. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Who used to be a big boy. He was in Remember the Titans. My Name is Earl. He was ginormous, and
Yeah.
now the guy is jacked. Shout out Ethan.
Shout out Ethan. He did it.
Wow,
You
shout
did
out.
it.
You did it.
You did it, Ethan.
But no, this show follows Earl, and he's a no good scumbag who gets hit by who wins the lottery, gets hit by a car, loses his winning lottery ticket, goes to the hospital, watches an episode of something talking about karma,
Yeah.
and he's like, I need to do good things. Does a good thing, and his lottery ticket blows into his hand. Thus, he creates
my
a list of all the
gosh.
bad things he's done in his life, and he goes one by one to try
Yeah.
to fix all of them.
Oh, that's
so
a
it just
great
follows
premise.
Yeah.
This guy who's, white trash from,
Yeah,
trailer
no,
park,
that's really what it is.
you know.
Yeah.
He's got a couple kids with his ex-wife.
Yes.
He's got a son named Earl Jr. who has more melanin than he has.
Thanks to the Turtle Man.
Thanks to Crab Man.
Oh, Crab Man. Thanks to Crab Man.
It's actually Crab Man's kid.
But does he have a turtle though?
yeah, he does.
Okay, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say I know there's a turtle somewhere
he
there.
has a pet turtle, but his name is Crab Man.
Crab Man.
And he has a kid with Earl's wife.
Yes.
And then marries Earl's wife. So shout out to Crab Man. We love him.
Crab Man.
No, yeah. So that's just a fun show. It's a fun, fun story
No, I
watching
agree.
this no good scumbag become a better person, and all the things that they do with that. And so I highly recommend it. Just remember, once you get to the end of season 4, don't expect
Just
the plot twist to have
Dang.
any actual.
be
ending.
ready to have to create your own ending. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
my
they did.
gosh.
They just wanted you to make it yourself.
Yep. Yeah. Just use your imagination. You'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So my name is Earl.
My name is Earl. Yeah, that's another good one that I've seen a few clips and I know Robert loves it. So
Yeah.
I might have to check that out one day. But so my next show is a show that also got canceled. It was canceled
Rest in
after
peace.
one season. Pretty disappointing. It was a Netflix show. Okay, it was a
I know where
Netflix
he's- I know
show
where he's going with this.
canceled after one season. All right. And I think it deserves another season. It's very creative, very new. I don't think either of you have heard of it probably, and it's called Daybreak. Have you guys heard of Daybreak?
Daybreak.
Oh, is that an apocalypse show?
It is an apocalypse show. Have you seen it, Ben?
Daybreak. I've never heard of that.
I
Never heard of that.
started it, but
You
then
started
Faith
it?
came home and she doesn't like zombies, even though the
Ah.
zombies aren't really zombies. But I was like, I'll watch something else with you, honey. It's fine.
Never
Yeah,
heard
so
of that. Yeah,
it's
never heard of that.
it's basically
It looks
it's set in
really
a
good.
small it's set in a small town in California, and it has like a fun teen take on the whole zombie apocalypse trope that we've been getting so much of lately. The
Yeah.
Walking Dead, The Last of Us. The whole zombie apocalypse is so popular, and it never ends. And this is such a fun take on it. It's basically these bombs go off, and the bombs turn all the adults into zombies. They're called ghoulies in the show, but only the
Oh.
adults. So all the teenagers are normal and they're alive and they're fine. So basically in this small town you have this high school, and just like a high school split up in like jocks and math club and this and that, they basically take over parts of the town where the jocks have this side of town and the chess club has this little area of the town, and basically they just take over parts of the town, and you follow this kid who lost the love of his life. Like, he fell in love with this girl and he lost her when the bombs went off. So you follow him trying to find his love again. And it's such a fun take on the zombie apocalypse, and it's
so fun.
really,
I love
really
it, yeah.
cool. It has such a unique premise. And I binged it. The first time I saw it, I binged it in like maybe 2 or 3 days. This is when
Yeah.
I was living in Missouri. I binged it so fast, and then I look up online. I'm like, oh, when's season 2 coming out? boom, it's canceled. I was like,
classic Netflix.
And if you look up on
believe
TikTok,
you've done this.
I know, it's so sad. If you look it up on TikTok, there's so many like edits of like, oh my gosh, what could have been? Like, please bring it back.
Sad.
And man, I'm still hoping to this day
sad.
that they bring back season 2. Season 1 came out a few years ago. We've seen them bring back shows and movies in the past, so you never know what could happen. But it's a really unique take on the zombie apocalypse, and I think it definitely deserves more love than it gets, because it's, man, I'm still sad to this day that it got canceled, and the ending is pretty crazy. It's like, it's a plot twist, and it's such a cliffhanger, and the fact that we don't get a second season is just so sad. So if you guys haven't seen Daybreak, I know maybe one day we'll get season 2, but it actually has the main one of the main villains of the story is actually played by Matthew Broderick, which is Ferris Bueller.
Sure, yeah.
So
yeah.
he's probably like the only.
So it has a big name in it. Okay.
Yeah, it does have one pretty much big name in it. All the rest of the cast is pretty much people, I mean, that I've never heard of. But it's a fun story. There's a lot of cool characters, and it's just so unique. And man, I definitely think it deserves a second season. So that's my second underrated show, Daybreak.
I like that.
I'll have to look into that.
That's a good show. Yeah, that's
fun.
That's,
back in.
I'm trying to think. Because I'm of course on Netflix so much. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen that one. I kept thinking I cannot even think of like what it looks like.
Another show where I saw the trailer and was like, I'm going to watch this, and I added it to my list, and I watched 20 minutes, and then I have not gotten back to it yet. But I will say I was entertained.
Oh, that's
he was walking into a church with some golf jocks.
The golf team. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to check that out. Oh, that's good.
It's a fun show. It's really unique, and I'm just praying to get season 2 one day.
Hey, crazier things have happened, man. I've seen them bring back shows of that before, so you never know.
We never thought we'd get Zack Snyder, cut.
Exactly.
That happened.
If
that
enough people ask for it,
no, we just need to bully Netflix. Everybody cancel your memberships until they give us season 2.
Money talks. It works.
Enough people get on board. We can make it happen.
All right, this is a show that I have been waiting to talk about for a long time.
Come on, do it.
This is a show that means a lot to me. I probably consider it might be in my top 5 shows of all time. I think it is something that is, I can almost say it's, especially the first couple seasons, and when I tell the show, people understand, the original run is possibly the best written comedy ever. I really hold this show in super high regards. It's Arrested Development. Came out. What is that face?
Me spoiling it earlier.
Oh, that's right. You did. Yeah.
Flashback to my.
All the fans of it will know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yes, yes. Thanks to Ben.
Sorry.
Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Which does feature Jason Bateman and Michael Cera.
It does. Yes. Ben was right. He was wrong about the show, but he's right about the group of characters. Yes. But speaking of Jason Bateman and Michael Cera, you talk about a cast that is, in my opinion, the best casted cast ever, if that makes sense. I don't think any other actor could done with those characters with what the actors that were originally cast did, if that makes sense. It is so well done. Again, I will say it that it might be the best written comedy, especially that original run when it was on primetime television before it went to Netflix. We're not counting the Netflix seasons; they don't count. They happened years after. But the original, I think, 3-season run was such a tight, well written comedy. You talk about something that is possibly one of the originators in how comedy is today in TV. You can probably say like the original British Office is one of like the pioneers in it. I consider Arrested Development right there with it because it really did create kind of that dark, deadpan, satirical comedy where it's less of the old school. What am I thinking of when the slapstick? There you go. It's a lot less of slapstick. It's a lot more of subtle humor. The amount of inside jokes and running jokes that are involved in this show that just, whenever they happen, you feel so like accomplished because you just feel like it's just a show is just rewarding you for watching it because you get all these callbacks, all of these running jokes, and they all hit so well every single time. It is an absolute gem of a show. I think it's something that if you haven't watched the original run, I think it's on Netflix still, You need to watch it because it is, again, just some of the best TV you can find out there.
I've definitely seen a few clips of that, and I've seen a few episodes, and that, oh my, there's some clips I've seen that are so freaking funny from Arrested Development that I love. Isn't that the show that, like, at the end it has that funny little, like, jingle or song that people use in memes, right? Like,
100%. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they have that one. Oh, and just a quick shout out to probably one of my favorite running gags. So you have Job, who is his brother. Just to give you a visual of the story. So again, it's based off a rich family, really, really well off, privileged family. It's this super unique cast of characters that are involved in this family. It centers around Jason Bateman, the goat, Jason Bateman, who plays basically the straight man to his insane family, and it is just the most like basic like recipe for a show, but it's executed perfectly to like the nth degree because again, it's not like super unique in terms of how like the dynamics are set up. We've seen it before, but it's never been done as well as they did there. And one of the best running jokes is Job, played by the brilliant Will Arnett.
Oh yes,
I didn't realize he was in the show.
Yes,
too.
He's so good. He has this running joke as Job. He is the older brother. He is a screw up, a goofball. They don't take him seriously. He's the joke of the family. He's a failed magician because again, this is rich family. So he decides to spend his time being a magician. And,
you just don't get it, Mom.
And one of the best things is when they bring him in to basically work for the company, and I won't go into much detail about it, but they'll go to work for the company. And he's wearing this expensive suit, and what's so good about it is that anytime someone talks to him, is like, "Hey, can you do this?" Like, yeah, the guy in the $2,200 suit is gonna fax that paper, and then it'll fast forward, and someone will say, "Hey, hold that door," and he'll be in the elevator. You're like, "Yeah, the guy in the $4,800 suit is gonna hold the elevator for you," and the price just keeps going up and up and up, and it's so simple, but the way he does it, it just kills me because he's so self-conscious that he has to keep raising the price of this suit that he's wearing. And it's so good, man. Again, it is just such a good show. I again, like my other shows, I talk too much about them, but you just gotta check it out. It's so good.
That's great. No, I guess.
Javi made me switch my third show.
Oh, Javi.
Whoa,
Javi.
I'm sorry.
No,
sorry.
Don't be
really?
sorry.
Oh.
No, not because you said one that I was doing. No, you inspired me.
Ooh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Wow.
Javi, when you said Daybreak, one season canceled it, boom, like a light bulb. I was like, oh my gosh. I was going to talk about The Good Place. Great show. Highly recommend.
Amazing show.
Not as appreciated as it should be. But then I was like, oh, there was a show that came out the year I was born.
Wow.
Whoa.
One season.
Old show.
Oh, another one. Wow.
Canceled after. And when I tell you the cast, you're going to be like, how the heck did the show get canceled?
I know what you're going to say. I won't say about Nuri. Okay, yeah. Yes.
Jason Segel.
Yes.
Seth Rogen. James Franco.
Oh.
I
think I know. I think I know what you're talking about.
There's another big one.
Yes. She played she played in Endgame. She was Hawkeye's wife. Did you say her name already?
I can't remember her name.
Hawkeye's wife.
Hawkeye's wife.
She's gonna kill me.
Oh man.
I'll think of it. Keep talking.
This is what I get. This is what I get for switching my show in the middle because I have all the actors for Good Place listed to make sure I know their names, all of them. Okay. But yeah, so it's called Freaks and Geeks.
Oh yeah, of course. I've heard of it.
Freaks and Geeks,
oh my gosh.
Sad.
It was so
that was canceled?
good.
I didn't even know that was
It
canceled.
was so good. It only lasted one season.
Wow.
It just takes place in this high school. It shows all these different types of students, as high schools are, a bunch of cliques, and they form like their own group, even though they're all little different personalities.
Just
like
like
all these
Daybreak.
shows we have today that they just copied it from. You know,
Oh.
I feel like it might have been the blueprint for Community, honestly.
Sure, no, I see what you mean. Yeah.
You know, and so, but it only lasted one season. Had all these freaking studs. Seth Rogen, I'm pretty sure him and James Franco were both stoners once again. Like
They were,
in
and they're
every
babies
movie.
in that
And
show.
They're
They're
babies,
so
bro.
young.
What a good cast. That's awesome.
And so I highly recommend. It used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it still is.
I'm trying to remember where it is now. I remember it being on Netflix.
It was on Netflix. That's where I watched it. An old friend in Miami told me to watch it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll give it a shot." And oh my gosh, it had me hooked. And then I was like, "Why did you make me watch this show? There's only one season."
What a messed thing to do to a person, man.
You know?
It's just no closure.
That's why if anyone's gonna watch it today, they got it
Yeah.
before they started. Okay, they know. I warned you. Also,
Hey,
watch The Good Place.
If we say enough, they'll renew it for season 2, baby. 20 years later.
Come on, guys. 20 years later. Man, I failed high school like 27 times.
Oh my
Keep it
God.
going. Run it back. Come on.
Run it back.
Yeah.
You got next year.
That's awesome.
Next
No,
year.
that's I've definitely heard of that. That's kind of like that's always mentioned for some reason, but that's crazy.
Also,
I didn't know that was
also
canceled.
the dorky teacher in the new Spider-Man movies. The one that like loses his camera in Far From Home, and he's got the glasses.
The glasses?
The beard.
Okay,
yeah.
His wife left him during the blip.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
that?
Yes. I know
He's
you're talking
also
about, yeah.
in Freaks and
I know you're
Geeks.
talking about. Yeah.
Oh,
I forgot
wow.
He's
about
got
him.
a serious peanut allergy.
Forgot about him. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And someone's like,
that's
"Oh, you're
awesome.
allergic to nuts. You put a peanut in your sandwich." Almost kills him. Yeah.
awesome.
So yeah, he's also in it, but not as big of a name as the rest of the gang.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
that's Freaks and Geeks, and go watch The Good Place.
Good place. Yes.
Yes, Good Place.
Yes.
Amazing. I'm actually rewatching The Good Place right now. I freaking love that show so much.
Bortles.
Bortles! Jason. Oh my goodness.
I love Jason.
The most, Jason.
Shut
All right.
up, Javi. You know he hates Jason, bro?
Oh, you
I
know
don't
Jason?
hate Jason.
You
I don't
hate Jason.
You're
All right,
putting
guys, for
words in my
context,
mouth.
Good Place. Jason's one of the characters.
All right,
He's
I'm putting my
awesome.
notes down. We're talking about this. Jason he's funny. He is like the dumbest character ever. Like he's just dumb as rocks, and that's what
Yes.
makes him like him. That's what makes him Jason.
Yep.
That's what makes him funny. Just for me, like a lot of his jokes, they just don't hit. It's like sometimes it's just too dumb. It's just too cringe.
It's
for
just
me.
immature. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just super dumb. Like he'd be like, oh, boobs, or like something. You'd just be like, literally, like that's literally like most his comedy.
Listen,
but
bro.
it's he's.
say
I get it.
You
I
say
get
that,
it.
yes,
He's
the
cool.
all-knowing Janet is a good best friend of his. Okay?
Oh, I
The
love
all-knowing
Janet.
is
Janet's great.
He was good enough to have her want to be his friend. Okay?
That's so ironic that they end up together. They balance each other out perfectly.
I didn't want to say that they were
she
together,
knows
but I guess I was
everything, and
hinting at
he
it too
knows.
much.
He knows nothing. She knows
He
everything.
knows,
It's so funny.
he knows nothing. Yeah. Yeah. He knows
Literally.
nothing.
I just love when he yells Bortles and then eventually falls.
Oh,
It's my
so good.
favorite. Okay,
So
that's
good.
literally, I just love the scream. Bortles!
I love it.
Because, I mean, you got to feel bad. The poor guy died before the Jags were ever good.
He'd still be
Oh,
waiting.
God. Yeah, he's still.
Hey, they
waiting.
had a 27-point comeback in the playoffs this year.
They're gonna hold on to that.
And, he was going, Lawrence!
Lawrence, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Oh, he's worshiping
the-
Lawrence right now. Yeah.
That's
He's
what
probably
he
growing
would
his
be
hair
doing.
out like
Sure.
dyed it blonde.
Oh my gosh.
Got a nose job
Yeah.
to make his nose bigger. Very good
love
show. By the way, people die and they are in the good
Whoa,
place.
whoa.
But,
Oh,
Oh yeah. But yeah, no, it's a
but
great
Kristen
show.
Bell's like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here because I was
Kristen
a terrible
Bell.
person.
Kristen Bell is incredible in The Good Place, man. I love her
she's
character
good.
so much. She's so funny. She's so like, oh my gosh, she's such a good actor. Like her and
And
Chidi,
Michael
like, I
was so
love-
good too.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Michael's incredible.
Michael,
incredible. I
Chidi,
think
yeah.
that show won a few awards, didn't it? I thought it won a few Emmys.
I think so. I think it did.
I
Yeah.
believe
hope
it
so.
did.
All right,
But,
what's your next
anyways,
show, Javi? What's your
I'll
next
get
show?
into my my last underrated show, and I saved this one for last because I really do love this one with all my heart. I love all these shows that I've talked about, but this one has a special place in my heart. I think Robert has seen it. I think Robert put me on. I'm not 100% sure. Ben has not seen it,
heard of it.
but this show started as a web series. Okay, it started as a web series. Pretty much started on YouTube. And it's literally crowdfunded. It's called Video Game High School. Have you seen it? Have you seen it, Robert?
wow.
You remember this show?
Yeah, I forgot
Dude,
about that one.
I
That's like deep in my
recently-
mind there. Yeah.
I don't remember how it came back to me, but I just recently started watching it, and it is so much fun, so enjoyable. And it's the best parts about it is that it's made by two amateur filmmakers that were just started on YouTube making these really impressive videos, short clips on YouTube, and they end up creating a show, and it's completely crowdfunded. Their first season, they wanted to raise $75,000, and they ended up raising $270,000. And so they were able to make a whole season, and it's basically about a kid who he basically hits the clip of a lifetime, and he gets this awesome kill on this like the biggest streamer in the world, and he gets like a little scholarship to Video Game High School, which is like this super prestigious high school where it's only for gamers, and there's the MMO crew, and there's the FPS gamers, there's like the race car gamers, and it's such a funny, like, cool, interesting, like, premise with all these gamers in this one school. And speaking of crowdfunding, the second season they raised over $800,000. Third season they raised $898,000. So it's cool because the first season a lot of the episodes are like 15 minutes. In this first season, but then they raised like, quadruple the amount in season 2 and 3, so the episodes are like 30-40 minutes. It becomes like this actual show, and it's made by these two guys that don't even take a pay cut. They didn't even take a pay cut for this show, and the best part about the show is that they didn't make it to get money. They didn't make it to make a profit. They made it because they wanted to make a good story. It wasn't about making money. It wasn't about, Hollywood nowadays. They'll just put anything out there if they think it's going to make a buck, and that's why there's just all these failed things. Yeah. And this was all about just making a good story. And these guys just succeed in every way. It's such a fun show. It has 3 seasons. You can watch all 3 seasons on YouTube. They're all there. I'm rewatching it now. And it's such a fun story. The main couple that you follow actually get married in real life. So
I didn't even know that. You're kidding.
Yeah. The chemistry. Cool. The chemistry is there on screen when they actually get married in real life. Till they're fighting. And spoiler, they do get divorced a few years later. But the chemistry was there. Okay.
Oh, you just broke my heart.
Yeah, I was literally about to be.
I was so happy for a second.
I was gonna send them a wedding present.
Man, I don't want people to be like, no way, that's amazing, they're married, and then look it up and they're divorced.
Does anyone have a chance?
So.
Yeah, what's the point?
But they were married for a while, and that just goes to show you that the chemistry is there, and that also happens.
Yeah, that's cool.
That also happened for all 3 Spider-Man, which is pretty funny. I mean, just to bring that up, it's kind of off topic, but Tobey Maguire got with his love interest.
Yeah, like, do not date. Yeah, watch me, punk.
It happens every time. Andrew Garfield
that's funny.
got with, and then freaking Tom Holland.
I forgot about that.
Every single one.
That's why they killed Gwen.
Wow, I forgot about that. That's true. What a coincidence.
So, but no, Video Game High School is such a fun show, such a cool premise. The CGI and the effects are actually really impressive for just 2 filmmakers. The same guys who direct it actually edit it. They actually edit it, so they put their heart and soul into it. But Video Games High School is a really awesome little web series. If you guys haven't seen it, it's so good. Really love that show.
Heard of it.
Yeah, no, you gotta check it out, Ben. I'm praying. I'm gonna press you. You need to watch it. It's so awesome.
That was a great list of shows there, boys.
Oh, yeah.
I really like the ones that we put together. I think that's great. So yeah, that's got. Now I got stuff that I got to add to my list to make sure I watch.
Oh, yeah. No, I love this because we're just...
doing the shadows?
What we do in the shadows,
yeah.
Either way you type it, you'll find it. You'll find it.
Okay. We're just putting each other on shows, man.
Put them on. That's right.
Yeah, and now we need to watch each other's shows now and each other's underrated shows. I love that, yeah.
Bobby was being all secretive, wouldn't tell us his list.
Yeah, it's funner that way, But I guess we're ready for another amazing iteration of Javi's Gotta Ask. These are a few questions that I want to get you guys take on. Some really good questions. I really love.
I'm waiting all week.
So
wait.
The first question.
2 weeks.
The first question is: I want you guys to make a ranking.
I'll wait till the end.
I want you guys. Yes, please wait till the end for your answers. I want you guys to make a ranking of the 4 Chris's in Hollywood, from your favorite to least favorite, which is, let me remind you, you got Chris Evans, you got Chris Pratt, you got Chris Hemsworth, and you got Chris Pine, okay? I want to know your favorite, your least favorite. You guys probably know my list. My list is easy. My favorite Chris, of course, is Chris Pratt. You got Chris Pratt number 1, Chris Evans number 2, Chris Hemsworth number 3, Chris Pine number 4. Nothing against Chris Pine. I love Chris Pine, and I'm actually excited to see Dungeons and Dragons after seeing some new clips of it and seeing the scores.
Ratings did drop a little bit. It went from 90, and I checked the other day it was like 87.
Okay,
but it's still up.
Oh, that's still incredible.
I hope it's good.
So
I hope it's good.
I'm excited to see that. But I want you guys to rank the Chris's of Hollywood from your
ranking the Chris's.
favorite
let's
to least favorite.
go 1 to 4 at the same time. Ready?
Right.
Number 1,
Chris Evans.
No, I was gonna. Yes, Chris Evans. Okay, number 2. Wait, after I say number 2, okay?
Okay.
Number 2, Chris Hemsworth. Okay. Number 3, Chris Pratt.
Number 3 is Chris Pratt.
Chris Pine. Yes.
Wow, we didn't even
What?
Oh, that's awesome.
Chris Pratt is number
Why are we
3.
the same?
Oh, how dare
Listen,
you
I
guys.
love all 3 of them. I love all 3. It's so tough.
All 4.
I love all 4 of them. But Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth, those guys mean a lot to me, man. I love those guys so much.
I just know Chris Evans is won by a mile, and then I think the gap between 2, 3, and 4 are kind of close. I went through a phase where I was like Javi, like, oh my god, everything Chris Pratt does, I have to buy the movie.
Chris Pratt, yeah.
And then I was like, I'm kind of done with it
Oh
now.
my gosh, come on. It's just for me, Chris Hemsworth. Like the only thing I love him as is Thor, and I love Thor, and I love the Marvel. But that's the only thing I could think of off the top of my head.
You need to watch
Extraction.
Extraction
on
Netflix.
Right. I've seen that. I've seen it. It was
so
good. It was good.
I love it. Yeah, he's really good in that.
That's good. But yeah, and I love Chris Pine. Wow. Okay, there you go.
He's got a huge cameo in the movie Vacation with Ed Helms.
Oh, he does. Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
If you watched that movie, then you know what I mean by he's got a huge cameo in Vacation.
Yes. He knew what we were wanting, man. He gave it to us. He gave the people what they want.
He gave the people what they want.
Man, you guys agree on more than I would think.
That's
you
funny.
guys,
wow.
We need more disagreements. We need more disagreements on here.
Did you have another one, Javi?
Yeah, I got one more for you guys.
Okay, all right.
So,
take 2.
This is a big one. This is a hard one. Maybe you guys can do it again. Maybe you guys can't. And there's a follow-up question to this one as well. I got 2 incredible iconic characters. Okay, and I want you guys to tell me who's the more iconic character. Okay. So, who is the more iconic character? Han Solo or Indiana Jones?
Wait, say the second one again?
Han Solo or Indiana Jones? Who's the more iconic character?
You said there's a follow-up. Do we have to wait for the follow-up?
Did you guys? No, you guys can answer. Go ahead.
You can't do this to me. Wait, we got to do it at the same time. That way, hold on. Give me a second. I'm trying to think. That is tough, man.
Dude, I mean, they're both in iconic franchises.
They're both so good, man.
Both played by, Harrison Ford, one of the GOATs. So, but I mean, it's tough. It's really tough.
Okay, I'm ready. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Han Solo.
Wow, I thought one of you would go Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I thought about it, and what's funny is I feel like just picking between those two, they're both so iconic, man. They're both so memorable, but for whatever reason, I gravitate more towards Han Solo.
Han Solo was a cooler character.
Yeah,
Indiana Jones was like
more down to earth.
I'm a normal guy. Han Solo is like charismatic.
Yeah,
the white version of Rico Suave.
Yeah. That's interesting though. All right, what's the follow-up question?
All right, follow-up question. Who has more kills, Indiana Jones or Han Solo? Now, before you answer, this is a lot to think about because obviously Han Solo is a bounty hunter, right? He kills a lot of people. And then you got Indiana Jones. He goes on all these crazy crusades and he kills a bunch of people, a bunch of Nazis,
a lot of bodies.
So
yeah,
they both have probably racked up hundreds of kills.
Are we counting everyone that dies
in the Death Star?
No.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's cheating.
Okay, I was gonna say if you count that, it's not even close.
No, just by his gun, by his gun, or by his sword, by his fist.
By his gun, because like in
by his gun, sword, fist. No, fist,
a lot of people
sword,
die in
gun,
Indiana Jones
by
from
himself.
like other causes.
I think I'm gonna go. Indiana Jones.
Ooh, this is our first. Javi's got to ask disagreement.
Here we go. I see.
It's hard.
While you're thinking, I think it was Indiana Jones because I don't know. I feel like the little things he do that ended up killing so many people. I feel like he was more. He was more involved with it.
You're probably right because I feel like Han Solo was a smuggler. He wasn't.
I feel like there's an argument. Okay.
That's right. He was a smuggler. That's right. Not a bounty. Smuggler. Yeah.
If we give him credit for the Death Star, which he didn't do that, Luke did that.
It's like scary genocide. It's bad.
They have it coming. I mean, they literally committed genocide.
Does anyone really have genocide coming?
Death Star, yes. When they blew up Alderaan and everyone on it. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna end other planets? Yeah, we're gonna end you. I mean, come on.
I feel like
it's only fair.
I feel like you can kind of make an argument for both. But so you're gonna go Indiana Jones, Robert, and you're gonna go Han Solo, Ben, or are you switching?
I think I gotta go. I think Indiana Jones is the correct. Do you have the answer?
No, I don't. I wanted to see your guys take.
What you think he went back and
I
went back with his notepad? That's one.
Honestly,
that's two.
I wouldn't be surprised
if like a video or somewhere that they
there
had a kill
probably
counter.
is a YouTube video that has a kill count of both those guys.
Yeah, there probably is a video. Yeah.
But those are all just on screen. Like off screen, they probably have some kills too. So
yeah, you never know.
I feel like Han Solo avoids killing people when he can because he's just trying to run away.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm gonna go Indiana Jones.
Okay. And who has killed more Nazis?
But at first I was like, maybe take a step back because I was like, people die by ants, people die by rocks falling, people die by spears.
It's
like
all his fault.
He doesn't kill those people.
It's his fault.
Just die adjacent to him.
Adjacent, yeah.
And who has killed more Nazis?
Han Solo.
I don't think Han Solo knows what a Nazi is.
The Empire.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Oh shoot. Do you consider the Empire to be the Nazi party?
Oh wow.
So he did help.
Is that
the Death Star,
the Star Wars universe Nazi party? I don't. You can make an argument for that.
Any villain post World War II has in a war, any kind of movie where there's a war and an army has been compared to the
Nazis. What are we talking about?
What do you mean?
How do we get talking about Nazis?
But all right.
I tell you what, whoever killed most Nazis have my heart.
On this week's segment of who's really a Nazi.
Hey, listen. I mean, as crazy as it is, somehow those things exist still.
They do.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys. What are y'all doing?
But all right, that's it for this week's iteration of Javi's Gotta Ask. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys tuning in for this episode of Oi, the podcast. Next week we're gonna be talking about our favorite dramas, some amazing, awesome shows.
Yes.
So be on the lookout for that.
Possible hot takes, maybe.
Maybe some hot takes. Oh yeah.
I also just learned that the word drama TV show encapsulates way more than I thought it did.
There you go. we learn something new every day.
So we changed just Ben's whole perspective on what like a drama show is.
Whenever we were told that, I was like, "What do you mean?" Yeah, Grey's Anatomy, every novela. I'm thinking that was the limit to dramas. Whoops, my bad, guys.
But yeah, then next week will be a good one.
Yes, thank you guys for watching. We love you guys. We'll see you back when the Oi boys are back. Peace out, y'all. Love you guys.
Oi.
Oi.
Oi.